Welcome to another declutter with me in my mission to declutter my entire house in under 100 days. This is day 4 of my actual decluttering that I'm doing, and I've not got as many days left as I was hoping. I've not done as many days as I would have liked by this point, but you know what? I've done some, and I'm going to have to take that win. I am working through my decluttering workbook, and the tasks I have tasked myself with today are the rest of Zara's room. So we're doing Zara's room, the revenge, Zara's room, part 2, the return of Zara's room. Basically, the last video, if you saw the last decluttering video, I was so flipping overwhelmed, but yet so proud of myself at how much I actually got done. And that's the vibes we're going for this time. We're going for, it's going to feel overwhelming, but I'll be glad when it's done. And honestly, the more I'm doing this is day 4, the more satisfaction I'm getting for seeing these really amazing, clean and tidy and sorted spaces, and the more it is kind of spurring me on and making me want to do it. So it's kind of a case of gaining a bit of momentum, I suppose. If you are new around here, hello, my name's Rhiannon Morgan. Welcome to the channel. We do lots of organising and decluttering and generally trying to get our lives more organised here, so welcome. Thanks for joining. If you want to get started with decluttering with me, make sure you grab my completely free, clutter-free checklist as a really good springboard to get you started, to help kickstart your decluttering so we can declutter together. Let me know in the comments actually, are you decluttering along with me as you watch? But one thing you can grab if you want to go next level with your decluttering is my decluttering workbook, available inside of my shop, and it will take you through all the decluttering that we need to do together. Anyway, let's have a look at what I've written in my workbook we're going to do today. This is just a general printed copy of the workbook, but these are a couple of pages I'm using today. So this is my decluttering assessment of everything that needs to be done in the house. I keep adding more and more things to this high priority bit. Now, we did Zara's Calyx in the last video. That was such a huge job, and her bedside drawers. But we didn't tackle her wardrobe or her desk or her bookshelf, so I'm going to do those today. Not sure we'll get to Bella's wardrobe. If we can just do these today, I'll consider that a win. So, decluttering worksheet for today, the date, Zara's room part 2, the revenge of Zara's room. We're going to try and do her wardrobe rail, wardrobe boxes, the dressing up which is shoved at the bottom of her wardrobe, her desk drawers and her bookshelf. I think it's going to take most of the day, but we'll see. At the moment it's feeling chaotic, out of control, and everything's just bulging. It's not fun. Now without further ado, let's get decluttering. Zara's bedroom's not looking that bad at the moment, which makes me kind of not want to pull everything out. But we're going to do this because it's going to be good when it's done. All this has to come out. You can see how bulging it is. It's not cool, is it? Not cool at all. And her wardrobe is, let's just say, oh dear. Okay, it just needs doing. We're going to do it. We're going to do it together. I'm not going to panic. And all this is looking good until you get to a bookshelf. And then it's a bit like, ugh. Oh dear. But all those boxes we did last time, the bookshelf, we ran out of time. Hopefully we'll get it done today. Hopefully. And also her desk. We didn't do that last time either. And it all kind of needs pulling out. This was done last year. I want to say like May time, because I had a new desk and this was my old desk. But yeah, it needs doing again. Now, we're going to start by putting some earbuds in so I can listen to something so I am not bored. Now, maybe you are listening to me talking right now and maybe you're decluttering with me. But if not, maybe you want to listen to an audiobook. I love Audible. I've got a code for a free audiobook and you can use the link on screen, mummyof4.com/audible to claim your free audio book. Let me know if you want some audiobook recommendations. Maybe I could do a video here or I could do it on the podcast because that's something else you could listen to for free on the podcast. You could listen to it via your podcast providers because I have a podcast. I could talk about the favourite books on the podcast or you just listen to the podcast. And there's also a podcast channel here on YouTube where I talk to the camera, so I am in it, but you don't really need to look at it because it's just the audio stuff. Now I'm putting on my indoor trainers so they don't bring any muck from outside into the house. That would be counterproductive when we're decluttering and cleaning, wouldn't it? But they make me go faster. At least in my head they do. Now it's time to get on with it. Which one are we going to start with? We've got a few priorities. Let's start with the wardrobe, shall we? And it's like, oh dear. Before you opened the doors, the room was looking quite good. Then you open the doors and it's like, oh no, oh no. Let's start by doing my classic pulling everything out. I'm going to move everything into my bedroom where there's a little bit more space, and then we can start putting things back and things can start to feel neat and tidy. Now that sorter thing is her uniform day by day sorter. And when this works, it works beautifully. But she's been putting some stuff in it herself and it's not been folded terribly well and put away. So I'm just going to do that for her. And this system is great. It's just a case of organising on the weekend everything they need for the week. And everything they need for each day gets folded into each slot, including pants, socks, everything. That's organised on the weekend. And then there's no like, Mum, I haven't got my jumper, I haven't got my what, because it's all done. It's all done on the weekend and then it is there ready to go. Honestly, this system has changed my life when it comes to morning routine stress and reducing it. So now we've pulled everything out. Let's do a little bit of cleaning while we can, wiping around the skirting boards. Ew, that's quite disgusting. And we'll do a little bit of vacuuming in the one little bit of carpet we can actually see now. We've not seen this bit of carpet in a long time, just inside the wardrobe. Don't look at the rest of the room. You can see a little glimpse of it in the mirror there because you can't see the floor. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we can't vacuum that yet. We need to sort it. We need to put it away. So the theory behind the dressing up when we moved here was I wanted them to be able to access their dressing up to showcase their creativity and, you know, and honestly, it's worked a treat. Zara, who was 3 when we moved here, has just really maximised the dressing up options. She frequently comes out of her room dressed in all sorts of things. It's very entertaining and it's just a nice way for to just be creative, play a lot, because I find if they don't have access to their dressing up clothes as much, they don't use them as much. That being said, she's a little bit older now, and while she can't reach the top rail, she has siblings who can, and she can just say, can you pass that down for me? She's now more likely to want to dress herself in her day-to-day clothes. So while previously I would have put her in, I would have just dressed her when she was 3 in what she was going to wear for the day. Now, on the weekends, especially, obviously it's different in the week as uniform, but on the weekends, she likes to choose her own clothes. So I'm going to move her clothes that she can choose down to the bottom rail. And then I'm going to put some of the dressing up at the top, and she's just going to have to ask someone to get it for her. She is told categorically she is not to climb and get it. She is one to ask for forgiveness rather than permission, and she is creative when it comes to solutions. But I'm like, Zara, please, no, just ask someone. Do not climb, just ask someone. So we're going to pull everything out, everything. Hair is all coming out in order to, oh my goodness, in order to make myself do it. This is known as the going on the bare hand method. Have you read that book to your children? You make such a mess. And then it's like, oh no, we can't go under it. We can't go over it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Let me know in the comments if you've read that book to your children. Anyway, that's the method. And it's the only way to make my ADHD brain do stuff. We're reaching for my classic baskets. These get used in so many things. If there is one other like organisation tip I could give you, it is swap out all your baskets that you bought because this one was cute and that one was cute to baskets that stack together. I now only have one type of basket. Oh, look at the mess. I only have one type of basket in the house. I'm trying to push through the overwhelm. I only have one type of basket in the house anyway. Let's get back on track. Because that way they all stack. I'll tell a lie, I've got 2 types. I've got the large ones and those small ones, but just 2 types. But that's because I have them for 2 different purposes. But those small ones get used for everything. I use them for collecting dirty washing upstairs. We used to have a big laundry, like a hamper thing, but then I'd find I'd just have to empty the stuff from the laundry hamper into a basket. So I replaced it with the baskets are stacked in the airing cupboard in the hall. Dirty laundry just gets put straight in there. And whenever I pass the airing cupboard on the landing before I go downstairs, I check if there's any dirty laundry in it. And if there is, I carry it down with me. But these baskets also get used for sorting and decluttering like this. So in this method, in my head, I kind of label, I don't physically label them, I just in my head label, right, that one's for stuff to go back in a room, or that one's, in this case, stuff that needs washing. All of this I found in the baskets, not the baskets, the boxes in a room, and it all needs washing. It's like stuff she's worn once, but not put in the laundry and just chucked back in the boxes. So yeah, all that's dirty laundry. Anyway, the basket. I've got the bigger baskets. You can see on the bed, there's a white bigger basket, and the girls have one of those each in the bottom of their wardrobes for dressing up. So we're going to have some stuff hung up high for dressing up, and still there's going to be some stuff down the bottom. Now, some of this sorting, I'm sorting directly back into these boxes. They are from IKEA. They fit inside the Kallax. They're called, don't shout at me, but I think they're called Drona, D-R-O with 2 dots over it, N-A, but it's Swedish, so is that how you pronounce it? Not sure, but they're Drona boxes, and they don't always have all the colours. I'm not sure they've got these colours anymore, but years ago I bought loads of these colours, the pinks for the girls' bedrooms. So these things I've found, I've hung up, they need to go back in her wardrobe. Some of this stuff was on the hangers anyway, some of it I found in the boxes, but it was just all kind of jumbled. She had some stuff in boxes, but the boxes were just like random boxes of clothes. They weren't like a box of this type of clothes or a box of that type of clothes. They were just things she'd shoved in there. In all fairness, she's only just turned 8. So while her room seems the messiest most of the time, it's because she's the youngest. Oh, how nice does that look in rainbow, by the way? It makes me so happy. This mess in here I'm sitting in the middle of doesn't make me happy. But what will make me happy is when it's slimmed down, when the boxes are no longer bulging, when we've donated things that need donating, like all this, that's all going. All that doesn't actually fit. That's all for donations for various different places. That's why the baskets, there's 3 different baskets, because some of the stuff is being donated to a friend. Some of it's going to the school, and I find if you've got very little children, the school are often very grateful for spares of bottom halves. So spare pants, spare leggings, trousers, things like that. Because not only do little children sometimes have accidents, as in wet themselves, but certainly in the infants, they often sometimes fall in the mud or get soaked through on the water table or whatever. And when this happens, they need spare bottoms. And some parents send in spares in the children's bags, some do not. But just check if your child's school accepts secondhand, like bottoms and things for spares, because they might be grateful for those. Failing that, there's always someone you can think of to pass things on to. A few people have said to me, why don't I sell things on Vinted? Honestly, I haven't got the bandwidth for it by the time I finish doing everything else. So I'd rather things go to be donated to like a good home of someone we know, if it's just for spares and things, rather than, like, I would never want my children's clothes to go to landfill. That would make me really sad, because, I've spent so much. I can remember buying each item for them and things they've worn, and their clothes do feel special to me. I still have a bag up the attic. Oh no, look at all this still to do. I've still got a bag up the attic of clothes that were the girls, not the tiniest clothes, because I'm keeping some of their tiny dresses, but they're kind of second stage baby dresses, some dresses they both wore, and I want them made into blankets, baby blankets. I still haven't organised that. So the clothes are in like a vacuum bag in the attic, ready to go. But I've not yet done it because I've not found the right person to do it. If you can recommend anyone, because it kind of feels like a big thing to send your baby clothes away, and it's a bit nerve-wracking to be like, oh, where am I going to send these, and will they come back, and will they do a good job? Because obviously it's a one opportunity to do that kind of thing. But if anyone can recommend anyone, I'd be grateful. So we're continuing to sort, as you can see, into baskets of things that are too small, that need to go, that need to be donated, things that need to go into different places in the house, things that are of the wrong season. But look how nice it's looking now. We've got dressing up at the top, colour-coded rainbow hanging up. We've got neat uniform and a small amount of dressing up at the bottom. And all of this is going. It's all going. Look at all that. All of those dancing shoes, too small. All of them, too small. And all of this, too small. So it's all being donated to various places, but it's leaving the house. All donations. Almost no recycling, actually. Most of that is suitable for donating. Now we're filling in my decluttering worksheet of what's going where, and just it's quite satisfying to see where things are going. We have got a bit of recycling, but not a lot. And I find filling this in is really keeping me accountable. It's helping me focus before I get started with what needs to be done. And then it slots into my Organised Life binder. If you want to make your own Organised Life binder, I'll put all the details below. If you want to pick up my decluttering workbook and help you declutter too, then follow the details on screen. So I think today I may have done the classic overestimating how much time and energy I had and underestimating just how long this task was going to take. But still, we're going to look at positives, we're going to look at the wins. After we very briefly said, I did not get to the bookshelf, did not even get to start that. I did not get to the drawers in her desk, and I most certainly did not get to start Bella's room. What made me think I'd be able to do all of this plus everything else I had to get done today and deal with the children and all the things. I was clearly delusional, but we are going to look at the positives and what I have managed to do. All of these boxes are now neatly organised. In here we've got a blanket. She does love her blanket, playing with, snuggling, all those sorts of things. Soft toys in there. 2 boxes of tutus. We've actually slimmed down the amount of tutus. We had 2 bulging boxes. We now have very sensible sized boxes. This is the stuff that is for the girls' Rise of Red show that they're putting on. It was a basket of gathered stuff that's been sitting under there, and I've managed to empty out a box enough to stuff it all in here. When they finish doing this particular show, this particular game, all these things can go away, but for now they all have to stay together. But I emptied a box so we can put those things in. Another blanket and some dressing gowns, PJs, school specific spare uniform and stuff. This is dancing stuff, so she's got 1 bag for tap and modern, 1 for ballet, and karate kit in there. And then over here we've got all the dressing up stuff at the top. Now originally I did want dressing up stuff down the bottom so that they could play dressing up, which they still do. There is still some dressing up stuff, but you know what, she can just ask me or even her brother now is tall enough to get some stuff down. That is so much neater. And look, all her clothes, she can actually reach this rail now to start making choices about what she wants to wear on non-school days. This is all so much neater, and this is not spilling out like mad. It's a small amount of dressing up stuff, so when she gets something down from up there or someone else gets something down for her, then she can put it away in there and there is actual space. I'm not sure if we're going to keep the actual bag or not. I'm going to ask her if she wants it for when they go on mucky school trips and they get all muddy. But there's so many pairs of tap shoes she's grown out of, so that all those can go. We don't need any of these hangers or those hangers, and all of this stuff is too small. One of these baskets is going just to recycling. One of them's for donation. I have also got that basket over there, which is not actually for donation or anything, but it's for storage because it's Halloween costumes, Christmas stuff. It's just stuff, seasonal stuff that lives in the attic that hasn't been put away. But all of this is going to be decluttered. All of it's leaving the house. There's so much stuff. Honestly, look how much stuff. It's so much stuff. So that makes me incredibly happy. Click on the video on screen now to keep decluttering with me and get to the bits I didn't get to in this video. Make sure you grab my decluttering workbook and check out some more early release videos inside of my Patreon. Hang out with me more a bit inside of there. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.